After the reasonably successful previous two entries in the Mortal Kombat series, Midway decided to create a game that was supposed to end off the current timeline and start a new one for the next game. The end is upon us. Mortal Kombat Armageddon was supposed to be a game that totally wrapped up the current story, and also was supposed to give players a complete experience from the past two games with more content to sink into. My issue with this game stems from the fact that the majority of this content is just reused assets from the previous two entries. Whether that be player models, movesets, maps, you name it, there's not a whole lot of original content in this game. And honestly, with so much content that feels the same, I'd say there's way too much content, hence the title of the video. But hey, I'm still gonna play it to completion and give my honest opinions on each character individually, so strap in because this is gonna be quite the long video. How I'm playing. This video is going to be structured as follows. I'm going to start with Konquest, splitting up each level, talking about some story and gameplay from the different levels, and then giving my opinions about Konquest at the end. After that, I'll talk about the side mode, Motor Combat. I will then, after that, talk about each character individually, including their ending and character bios. Like I said, this is going to be pretty beefy, and if you end up enjoying the video, please consider liking, perhaps subscribing for future videos, especially Mortal Kombat ones. And if you really like it a lot to the point where you're willing to spend money, then you can become a member and gain access to all my videos a day early and also get the full uncensored versions. Without further ado, let's get into the Konquest. The Konquest starts out with two people basically saying that Taven and Dagon have to start Armageddon from happening, and these are their parents. Taven wakes up and a big dragon named Orin says that it's time to get to saving the world. Botan Jungle. Starting off on the first stage, I can immediately see an improvement visually compared to Mortal Kombat Deception. This whole area feels alive and lived in. Look at all the green with the trees everywhere and the bugs crawling on the ground that you can step on. It honestly looks great. There's a whole bunch of destructible objects around that have little goodies inside. Opening the chests is so satisfying. The way that Taven just kicks the fuck out of them to open them feels and looks so nice. Once you get past the first little section, collecting coins and relics on the way, you approach Cobra, who you fight without even thinking. You get to a cave where you reach an obelisk that takes you to a little tutorial of the fighting outside of 1v1 fights. Before the tutorial, you fight Jarek. It reminds me of Shaolin Monks, but honestly it reminds me more of God of War. It feels pretty fun and makes me look forward to the rest of the game. Taven is just absolutely dumbfounded and totally confused on what the fuck is going on. There's no thought behind those eyes. He talks to his dead dad, who doesn't really tell him much except that he must move on. You get out of the caves and there's some blades that will instantly kill you if you walk into them, and there's more little chests and shit scattered around. You get to an area that gives you a hammer and allows you to just absolutely pound all of the enemies around you. Then you fight Cabal. Temple of Argus. You go into a temple that I had some trouble with because I'm an idiot. You fight some guys and then your dad tells you that you need a weapon and you need to defeat Blaze. Then Sector comes in and kidnaps you. Tekunin Warship. On the ship, the special forces come to get Sector out and the fucking ship has a self-destruct sequence and you have to get out quickly. Not too much else to say about it, but I did get meat. At the end, I fight Sector and it was really easy because of the special moves that Taven has. Arctica. Gotta go through a little snow area, you fight an ice beast, and then move on where you find Sonya, who's questioning you, and you have to fight. Then you go and meet some monks who are worshipping an obelisk, and you save the abbot who helps you go through, and your mom gives you training. I decided to go through all of the trials for the extra coins, and also it unlocks the Arctica stage, which is pretty cool, no pun intended. The trials were pretty boring though, to be honest. I just used the same cycle of attacks I always do, and it worked. Afterwards, I just go through more of the area and eventually come upon a guy who tells me he's Tengu and tells you about the Lin Kuei. You go and fight Rain, and then after you fight a whole bunch of Lin Kuei and get to a section where you have to defeat the archers, which did make me a little fucking mad, but nothing too crazy. Lin Kuei Temple. After defeating that stupid part, Taven goes into the Lin Kuei Temple, which is his mom's temple. I fight some enemies, then go into a room where I have an ice scepter, and I had to just spam it in order to actually pass it, because there's a fucking timer the whole time making it so I have to kill enemies rapidly, which got pretty annoying. After that, I break an ice wall and fight Frost. Afterwards, you fight Sub-Zero and open up the vault that has some armor your mom left for you, and you find out your brother woke up before you. You join the Lin Kuei when it gets invaded, and you fight more. Then there's these big fucking mouths that shoot fire at you, and you have to avoid the fireball and hide in the sides, and it's not even that hard, it's just kinda tedious and boring. I go into another room and fight a shitload of enemies. After that, it's time to fight Smoke. Then right after, I have to uppercut enemies into spikes and then fight Noob. You talk to Orin the Dragon again, who you ask to send you to the Charred Mountain to help Sub-Zero fight his brother. Charred Mountain. Entering the forest, you have to fight enemies. The gimmick this time is that when an enemy spawns with a weapon, you have to use that weapon to kill the enemies in order to progress. Fujin comes to tell you to leave, and you say no, so you fight. You go into the Red Dragon Cave. I make my way through the cave and get the time freeze ability, and then I meet Dagon. It turns out he was leading the Red Dragon clan. He's been trying to kill Taven this whole time. Mavado comes in and says that Blaze was found, then Mavado fights you. You see Kano, who tells you that the Red Dragon are doing experiments to turn people into lizard people. Then you get ambushed by a whole bunch of fucking red lizard people. You get Serena and a couple of other people to fight you, then you fight Reptile. You meet Dagon's dragon, who he enslaved. Dagon also killed both of his parents. You have to follow Dagon through the Netherrealm. Netherrealm Cliffs. You make a jump and fight some undead, then jump down again, and Draman gives you a warm welcome. You jump down and fight a whole bunch of undead with some fists, and god damn it, they just kept fucking throwing blood clots or something, and it kept fucking me up, and it pissed me off. I ground pounded some switches, then found a monolith that had me do more trials. Pretty standard shit. And then I fight Motaro in the trials. Then I fight Moloch. Then I complete the monolith and get a Sindel alternate costume. You find Shinnok fighting Li Mei, and you have to fight her. Shinnok leads you to his spire, and Taven doesn't know that Shinnok got banished to the Netherrealm. Shinnok's spire. It starts off with the section where I have to break some blocks to kill off some wraiths, then I go on the second floor and fight a demon who spawns these little tiny imps that I straight up just smash with a hammer. It was pretty fun, honestly. Then I fight Havoc. I make my way up to a room where I hit the enemies on a spike, then another where I kill them with a sword. Time to fight Shiva. Then I fight Kentaro. Both were surprisingly easy. Shinnok is just straight taking advantage of poor Taven. Shinnok is actually helping Dairu. You consult with Orin about Shinnok, but Quan Chi is basically killing Orin. Shao Kahn's Fortress. The first little area is a little annoying, nothing too bad, but goddammit, why do these motherfuckers have so much fucking health? It actually baffles me. I'm just doing the same fucking shit over and over again, like what the hell? Then a big elevator room where I fight more enemies till the elevator finishes. I fight Melina. Shao Kahn's Dungeon. I get put into a room where I have to fight more fucking enemies, yet again. Oh boy. I free some prisoners. I enter the room with the executioner, and I kill him, and free Shujinko. Shao Kahn's Fortress in the Shadow of the Colossus. Big statue fight. Easy, then Goro fight. Easy. Shao Kahn's Fortress Throne Room. Big room. I fight more enemies. Then I fight Raiko. I get sent to Obelisk and collect Orb. Shao Kahn and Quan Chi and Shang Tsung and Onaga all talk to each other trying to make an alliance. Then I fight Dark Raiden. Edenian Ruins. I start off fighting enemies and then fight a giant fucking skull for some reason. I fight Scorpion and it was pretty free. Dagon approaches and then Blaze comes and says that you and Dagon need to fight and then fight Blaze. Blaze stands over there at the top of the pyramid and Taven looks at him. Then it sends you to the top of the tower to fight Blaze. I did it third try and straight up, Blaze just fucking explodes. And then it gives me the arcade ending. Kinda stupid. I did honestly really like the Konquest in this game. It was a lot more consistently entertaining and enjoyable than the one in Deception for me. The environments look great. They feel lived in and three-dimensional. My biggest problem with the Conquest, however, is just how tedious it can get. Most of the time it's just fighting a shitload of enemies for no reason. Plus, that ending was just kinda weird. I feel like maybe they should have made a more original ending instead of just giving him the arcade ending, but, you know, is what it is. Motor combat. It's genuinely painful to say this because I loved Mortal Kombat when I was a kid, but motor combat just is not very good. It isn't horrible, but it just gets so boring so fast. After playing one race on all maps, it just kinda feels empty. The controls don't feel very good. Each character has only one power-up. The stages are cool enough, but nothing too amazing or groundbreaking. Some have more laps than others, which is weird because it makes it feel far less consistent that way. It's not a horrible mode, it just really isn't what I remember it being. And I can't really complain too much because it is just another mode in the game, which is nice, but also, I feel like maybe if the developers had spent a little more time fleshing out some characters instead of doing this mode, then it might have paid off more, but, you know, is what it is. So at this point, the rest of the video is pretty much just going to be me talking about every single character. I played as every single character in arcade mode, trying out all their different movesets and their weapon and special moves, just everything. At the beginning of each character, I'm going to show the character bio on screen and then also just kind of read off an abridged version that I wrote. And then once I'm done talking about the character, then I'm going to play the ending cutscene. Of course, there's chapters throughout this, so if you want to see a specific character or you don't want to see the bios or whatever, then the chapters are there. Not every single character in this game has a character bio. I'm not 100% sure of the reasoning behind that. I think part of it is because a lot of the characters were in Deception and their bio didn't change whenever Armageddon came out. So for the characters that don't have a bio, I'm just going to talk about how I felt about the character and then show the ending. And then for the characters that do have a bio, I will show the bio, then talk about the character, then show the ending. I mean, what's there to say about Scorpion that hasn't been said in the last two videos? Characters have two fighting styles in this game, so there are even less moves to talk about. He's definitely very fun, his grab move is satisfying. Cool character with a good design, that is all.
As the fire of Blaze was extinguished, what appeared in its place brought elation to Scorpion's tormented soul. His ninja clan, the Shirai Ryu, had been fully resurrected. Numbering in the thousands, they covered the surface of the pyramid awaiting Scorpion's command. Among them was Scorpion's wife and son. Their reunion was to be short-lived. The sorcerer Quan Chi suddenly appeared among them. He grabbed Scorpion's young son and disappeared through a portal to the Netherrealm. Enraged, Scorpion ordered his clan to hunt down the sorcerer. He will not rest until his son has been recovered and Quan Chi is dead.
Sub-Zero. His design is standard, I think it's fine. He plays as he normally does, albeit a little drawn back. He doesn't have the slide, and I know that's because Frost has it, but come on, that's Sub-Zero's fucking move, let's be real here. I mean, he's enjoyable, but that's all I have to say about him.
The Dragon Medallion, having amplified the godlike power granted him by his victory over Blaze, Sub-Zero was no longer a mere warrior, but an ice god. He was, however, a false god. He had become a deity without the consent of the Elder Gods, who sent their champions to hunt him down and destroy him.
Reptile. His design in this game is honestly my favorite in the whole series. It plays into him not being human while also making him look badass and not stupid. It's like his Mortal Kombat 4 design if they actually try to make it look good. His moves are here and they're pretty enjoyable, but what's most enjoyable about him in my opinion is his weapon. He attacks really fast with it and it's just very satisfying to use.
As the shockwave caused by Blaze's death rattled the surrounding crater, the pyramid on which Reptile stood began to crumble. A fissure opened to reveal a sarcophagus of familiar design. Reptile unlocked the curious artifact to find a female Zaterran. As she awoke, Reptile felt himself slowly reverting back to his humanoid form. The glory of Zaterra will return once more.
Rain. Rain is a traitor of Edenia. Shao Kahn was gonna kill him, but he decided to join Shao Kahn in order to protect himself. Rain honestly looks pretty fucking badass in this game if I'm honest. He just looks like you don't want to fuck with him. His moves are pretty fun as well. I like his water pump move thing and his lightning bolt. I managed to make it all the way to Blaze and I lost, but hey, I did make it pretty damn far. Fun character.
The half-brother of Taven and Dagon, Rain absorbed the power of Blaze and became a full god. I had not anticipated that the victor would be the son whose true identity I have hidden for so long. I bestowed the title of Protector of Edenia on Rain, but my pride in my son was misplaced. He uses his power to enslave Edenia, and now that I have ascended to Elder God status, I am forbidden to stop him.
Ermac. He's composed of many souls. He was serving Shao Kahn, but now he's free to be his own guy. Ermac has a cool design in this game, and he's pretty fun to play. His only useful move in my opinion is his telekinetic throw. Not much else more than that. I mean, his moves are cool, just not super useful. I did fine, but I got to Draman, and my god, he is the one who blocks.
The energy of Blaze shattered Ermac, separating him into the many warriors who comprised his being. Now each with his own physical form, the Ermacs are linked psychically and act according to their collective consciousness. No longer a mere fusion of warrior souls, Ermac has become an army.
Chameleon. The only original thing about Chameleon is his design, albeit it isn't the most interesting or creative design ever, it still looks cool though. So now is where I'm gonna start bitching and moaning about characters feeling the same. He has Crane, which Shang Tsung had in Deadly Alliance and someone else had in Deception, I can't remember right now. He has Ninja Sword. All of his special moves are also just borrowed from other characters. Really boring and not unique as a character. I made it to Blaze though, so I don't like him from lack of skill, I don't like him because of lack of originality.
As the battle raged, Chameleon camouflaged himself and raced to the top of the pyramid unseen. There he defeated Blaze and the ethereal power overtook him. Immortality was now his. Though he had been ever-present throughout the crises of the realms, from Liu Kang's first victory to the return of the Dragon King, he had remained hidden from sight, waiting for his moment to come. That moment had arrived. From this day forth, the realms will know Chameleon as the true champion of Mortal Kombat.
Noob. Noob isn't a bad character, just not a very inspired one. His special moves are fine. His hammer is fun though. His design is very meh, just a completely blacked out ninja character. Not much else to say about him.
With a flash, Blaze was defeated, and Noob Saibot found he was no longer standing atop the ancient pyramid, but in the center of a darkened arena. From the shadows, a figure slowly emerged. It was Sub-Zero, the warrior Noob had been before being slain by Scorpion. Sub-Zero had come to regain control of their divided soul. The two clashed, but neither could best the other. In the end, what emerged was a being that was neither Noob Saibot nor Sub-Zero, but something new.
Smoke. His design is cool, but the same as in Deception because of fucking course it is. His moves aren't anything too special, but I do like his Stinky Fingers move because the name is funny. He doesn't have any weapon though, which is a little odd and even a little disappointing.
Smoke's power lies in his nanobot technology. Microscopic machines course through his veins, constantly repairing and altering his being. But when infused with the power of Blaze, his nanobots took on a life of their own. Multiplying at an exponential rate, they were soon numerous enough to consume Edenia, transforming the entire realm into a mass of sentient gray material that calls itself smoke.
Cyrax. Nothing to say about his design, nothing fucking changed. His moves also haven't fucking changed. You could refer back to the video in which I talk about him, but I'll save you the time. He's cool and fun to play, but he feels gutted in this game. I don't know.
When he defeated Blaze, elemental powers surged through Cyrax and shattered his cybernetics. He was human once again. He allied with Sub-Zero, and with him confronted the cyborgs Smoke and Sector. In an epic battle of men versus machines, Cyrax and Sub-Zero defeated their longtime foes. The cyborgs will be reprogrammed to serve the Lin Kuei once more, until they too can be reverted to their human forms.
Sector. One of the few cyborgs made by the Lin Kuei, and he got corrupted. He becomes a bigger threat to everyone. Nothing much to say, he's cool.
Upon defeating Blaze, the power that surged through Sector linked him with his fellow cybernetic ninjas, Smoke and Cyrax. Becoming one mind, they were joined in an abomination of flesh and technology. The realms will soon tremble at the coming transformation. All will bow to the new god.
Stryker. Leader of the NYPD Special Riot Division, he's called to save Earthrealm, and he doesn't know why. Stryker's pretty solid. He does steal Jax's gun move though, which is a little lame, and his grenades don't do too much for me. He just plays like a default-ass character, honestly.
The fire of Blaze burned away Stryker's previous notion of justice. The power coursing through his soul inspired him to fight injustice on his own terms. No longer would he allow himself to be confined by the law. He would strike evil from the shadows, a vigilante who would show no mercy to the corrupt. He went into seclusion to prepare for his one-man assault on the wicked. Soon all the realms will know the name Stryker.
Cabal. His design is cool, as it always is, however, he does feel a little underwhelming. He doesn't have very many special moves, and his hook swords honestly just don't feel good, which sucks because they look fucking badass. I mean, look at these things, come on, but yeah, he's just not as great to me as he once was.
The heat of Blaze wrapped itself around Cabal's hook swords and transformed them into fiery blades of vengeance. Crossing them above his head, Cabal challenged Movado atop the pyramid, seeking to end their rivalry once and for all. In an epic hook-sword battle, Movado could not withstand the fury of Cabal and his enhanced weapons. Never one to admit defeat, Movado took his own life by performing harakiri. Standing atop the pyramid, Cabal raised Movado's severed head high so all would know of the Black Dragon clan's superiority.
Dairu. He used to be part of the Satan Guard, but his family got murdered, so he killed an innocent guy, and now he's a mercenary. Look at this guy. Bro needs Rogaine. His barber fucked him up real bad. He's not very fun to play, but his sword's fine. His design just looks goofy.
The fire of Blaze enveloped Dairu and formed around him a golden suit of armor. Enraged, Shao Kahn attacked, but the armor scorched his body with every blow. Dairu defeated the Emperor and claimed Outworld for himself. Under his rule, Outworld once again became the majestic realm it had been in ages past. Convinced of his good nature, Edenia and Earthrealm forged an alliance with Dairu that would ensure peace and stability forever.
Jarek. He was believed to be the last member of the Black Dragon. He fled to Edenia, and when Shinnok came to take over, he decided that he had to team up with Jax and Sonya in order to protect himself. Jarek's design isn't anything great in this game, but his axe is pretty fun to use, so I'll give him that. Otherwise though, he's fast and pretty average. His moves are kinda weird though.
The power of Blaze drew chi from all the combatants and funneled it into Jarek. He suddenly felt as if death itself were guiding his actions. Laughing maniacally, he sealed off the crater and unleashed a storm of fatalities upon his fellow warriors. None could escape the maelstrom of deadly energy. When at last the tempest abated, Sub-Zero's spine lay quivering next to Kano's still beating heart, and armless Jax knelt beside the two halves of Kung Lao's body. Jarek had finished them all.
Darius. His design is cool and there really isn't much to add on to from Deception. He plays fine and he's cool enough, I guess.
Upon defeating Blaze, the pyramid shrank and transformed into a golden ring. The ring granted Darius access to my vault, wherein lay the treasure rightfully due my sons Taven and Dagon. The powerful artifacts allowed Darius to finally defeat Hotaru and conquer the realm of order. But the items were meant only for my lineage to wield. I have now sent Taven and Dagon on yet another quest. They must work together to defeat Darius and retrieve what he has stolen.
Raiko. He was a general for Shao Kahn and Shinnok. He's a great fighter, but not much else is known about him. I mean, his design is alright. His moves are pretty standard shit. Some shurikens, a charge move, a teleport grab. I mean, nothing crazy. His weapon is a hammer, and all of the combos are only in the air, which also kinda sucks. Such a whatever character.
When the godlike power of Blaze flashed through Reiko's body, he felt his old desire for power return more intensely than ever before. Now more powerful than even Shao Kahn, Reiko defeated the Emperor and claimed his helmet. As he placed it on his head, his body fused with it, transforming him into a warlord of unprecedented savagery.
Fujin. Fujin replaced Raiden as the protector of Earthrealm. Fujin is honestly pretty fun. His design is pretty whatever, but his moves are actually a little unique, all utilizing tornadoes since he's the wind god after all. His sword's fun to use, and his regular stance is cool as well. I made it all the way to Blaze and almost beat the game, but didn't quite get there.
As the energy of Blaze coursed through Fujin, it transformed the wind god into a storm of justice. His power increased exponentially. He created a new realm from the shattered remnants of worlds that had fallen victim to Shao Kahn's aggression. From there, the forces of light will stage their operations, with Kung Lao as Fujin's commanding general.
Bo Raicho. I still enjoy Bo Raicho in this game. I could be mistaken, but I think all of his moves are borrowed from the previous games. It's not necessarily a bad thing that they choose to do that, but it just feels kind of lazy that he's literally just the same guy with the same skin and everything.
Upon defeating Blaze, Bo Raicho was transported to the heavens. He stood before me, a humble warrior unsure of his fate in the presence of a god. I had looked into his soul and found that he was a good man and a powerful warrior. Outworld needed a protector, a task for which Bo Raicho had more than proven himself worthy. At my request, the Elder Gods breathed their life force into him, transforming the once humble warrior into a god. Bo Raicho had become protector of Outworld.
Mavado. Mavado is the leader of the Red Dragon and hates his rivals, the Black Dragon. That is his only notable character trait. Man, come on, Mavado has the same weapon as Cabal with no difference. He has negative drip. As Lit Stepdad in my livestream chat highlighted, he has a coat with one arm, his pants are up super high, and he just now bought the new Jordan Drill Bit 4s. Not only that, I just don't like Mavado. He's a nothing character to me. Not very fun or unique to play as either.
Mavado felt the fire of Blaze awaken something within him. Focusing his mind, he found he could control anyone bearing the Red Dragon symbol. Telepathically guiding his clan in battle, Mavado quickly subdued the Special Forces and the Black Dragon clan. He then tattooed their faces with the mark of the Red Dragon, so they too would serve him. As his forces grew, Movado gained full control of Earthrealm.
Hotaru. I actually really enjoy Hotaru's gameplay in this game. His design is the same as Deception's, so he still isn't super recognizable, but he's fun to play. I like his flame ball that pops up your foe a lot, and the staff is decently fun to use.
The power of Blaze transformed Hotaru into a being of pure order. All would bow before him or be transformed by his gaze. Yet there was one whom Hotaru would see pay for his crimes against conformity. The Cleric of Chaos, Havoc. The light of Hotaru poured into Havoc's mind and transformed him into an agent of order. Hotaru's second in command.
Nightwolf. I still really love Nightwolf. He plays exactly the fucking same as last game, which can be said for really every single goddamn returning character. Honestly, at this point in the game, I started getting bored as fuck. Too much samey shit.
The power Nightwolf received from Blaze carried him to the spirit world, an existence between realms from which shamanic power originates. He became a living ghost, the ultimate shaman. Nightwolf found his ally, Liu Kang, lost in the spirit energy, and guided him back to the physical world. Nightwolf then reunited Liu Kang with his body.
Mocap. I guess his story is that he was at the wrong place at the wrong time, so now he's fighting for his life. Hey, I know that he's just a stupid joke character with no personality, but he does have some charm to me. Just look at him. His moves are pretty simple, similar to Ermac, but I don't have any strong opinions on him. What sucks is he doesn't have a weapon, which feels like a missed opportunity to do some creative shit like a tripod or something.
The fury of Blaze's destruction killed all those present at the final battle. Mocap was ripped apart, his soul cast into the Edenian sky. His name is taught in Edenian astronomy to this day. He is the constellation Mocap. Legends will forever tell of how the Earthrealm warrior saved Edenia from Armageddon.
Johnny Cage. Geez, I'm gonna be grasping at straws for a lot of these characters. I mean, what the fuck do you want me to say? He looks the same as Deadly Alliance, like his model was just straight up ripped from it and put in this game. He plays the same. He's okay, I guess.
Johnny Cage defeated Blaze, and the power of the gods rushed through him. He gained superior strength and dexterity, but more important, a new insight into his existence. With the help of Shaolin masters, he renounced his superficial former life and became enlightened.
Kano. Kano is alright, same design as I think Deadly Alliance, and his moves and weapons are the same too, pretty much. I mean, he doesn't suck or anything, but a pretty standard experience. His Kano ball is still here though, which is cool.
For months, the Red Dragon had kept Kano hidden in their mountain stronghold, an unwilling test subject for a new process designed to transform humans into dragons. Kano escaped, however, before they could finish. Infused with godlike energy from Blaze, the process was rejuvenated. Kano was transformed into a black dragon-human hybrid.
Jax. I mean, he has the same moveset and the same look from Deadly Alliance. Can you tell I'm not enjoying myself anymore? He plays fine. I mean, seriously, what the fuck do you want me to say?
When Jax absorbed the power of Blaze, the cybernetics in his arms grew and permeated his entire body. He was transformed into a full cyborg. He became aware of a controlling neural chip that had been implanted in his brain by Sector. Enraged, Jax defeated Sector and claimed leadership of the cyborg ninja clan, the Dakunin. It is unknown if he will ever return to the Special Forces.
Kai. Once upon a time, Kai was a White Lotus member, but once he finished training, he went on his self-quest for enlightenment. I actually have to hand it to Kai here. He's pretty fun to play. His moves aren't crazy unique, but it's fun enough. I like his side heel kick move a lot, honestly. Plus, his design is actually original for this game, which I can appreciate. His spiked club is also pretty fun.
The power of Blaze opened Kai's mind, and he became psychically linked to the One Being. He could see the One Being's dreams, from which all of reality is formed. In deep meditation, Kai allowed his mind to wander the realms in search of knowledge. he witnessed the rise of Shao Kahn and his eventual demise at the hand of Liu Kang, the return of the Dragon King, and the final battle at the pyramid. But when Kai looked to the future, he saw nothing.
Kenshi. I mean, yeah, his model is imported again, but hey, he's fun enough to play. He gets a pass from me simply because I like him as a character.
The fire of Blaze burned away the curse responsible for Kenshi's blindness. Not only was his sight restored, but he gained increased sensitivity in his other senses as well. As time went on, however, he found the sensory bombardment unbearable. Kenshi retreated to a remote mountain cavern where he remains isolated in a darkened, soundless chamber.
Shujinko. Shujinko is the biggest moron in Mortal Kombat history. All of his special moves are just reused from other characters. Yeah, in Deception he gains other characters' moves, but come on. How about give some individuality to your main and very important character, for fuck's sake? He plays fun, but that's just because he's a reused asset machine.
The power of Blaze drew chi from each of the combatants and fused it with Shujinko's soul. Though the battle was over, a new threat arose. One warrior now possessed the powers and abilities of them all. Shujinko went mad with power. After slaying all present, he embarked on a new quest. He would challenge the Elder Gods for control of the realms.
Suhao.
Fuck you, 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 fuck you.
Killed in the shockwave of Blaze's violent death, Suhao's corrupt soul descended into the Netherrealm. As his soul began to regain a physical body, Suhao became his true self, a demon of emptiness and desolation. Leading an Oni horde, he defeated Shinnok and his minions. He now sits upon the throne of the Netherrealm.
Cobra. He was a street thug, but since he's so good at martial arts, Kabal and Kira offer him a spot in the Black Dragon clan. Wow, Cobra has a bunch of fire moves like Fire Kick and Fireball and Fire Punch. I've never seen anything like it before in Mortal Kombat. And wow, what an inspiring design. I'm sure no other game developer has ever thought of this design in any capacity before. He couldn't possibly look exactly like the love child of two iconic characters from a competing franchise.
Because of his victory over Blaze, Cobra's strength was increased 1,000-fold. Emboldened, he demanded the Elder Gods declare him Lord of the Realms. They assented, but added that no Lord should be without his lady. Cobra chose Kira to rule at his side, and the Elder Gods transformed her into a goddess of death. With a kiss, Kira extinguished Cobra's life force and reduced his body to dust. Let all who would make demands of the Elder Gods beware.
Creative Fighter. Steel is a character that I can wholeheartedly say is the best Mortal Kombat character of all time. I mean, come on, look at this guy. He looks just like me. If you know me in real life, you'll know this is exactly what I look like. What a glorious character with all the right moves. And the fighting styles, just wow. Whoever made this character needs their ass eaten. Taven. Son of Argus, he woke up to stop Armageddon and is supposed to team up with his brother Dagon to stop it. Man, I really love me a good and balanced character. I mean, really, Midway outdid themselves on this one. What a perfectly well-balanced and fair character. Love this guy.
My world has been ripped to pieces. I awoke in a foreign realm, forced to complete a quest set forth by my parents, Argus and Delia. This quest, though intended to save the realms, has destroyed my family. My brother Dagon became obsessed with winning the ultimate prize of full godhood and murdered our parents. And in his madness, he sought to destroy me as well. Orin and Karo, dragons loyal to our family for ages, were not spared from the curse this quest has wrought. Dagon enslaved Karo to serve his own ends. The sorcerer Quan Chi killed Orin, who was my guardian. Though I had nothing left, I was determined to complete the quest. I faced many combatants, fighting my way to the top of the pyramid until at last I alone defeated Blaze in mortal combat. The energy released by his death passed through me, granting me full godhood. The excess power then filtered through my armor and passed into the other combatants. Though this energy was to have one of two effects on them, death or annulment of their powers, a third, unforeseen outcome resulted. The quest did nothing to resolve the instability of the realms. But as protector of Edenia, I vow to stave off Armageddon until a solution can be found.
Liu Kang. The former champion of Mortal Kombat, he got killed by Shang Tsung and now is a living corpse fueled by vengeance. Hey, his zombie skin is back, so that's cool, but nothing else much of note. He plays as he always has, and he's pretty decent. Little bit of a missed opportunity to not have any badass moves involving his change, but hey, Midway went bankrupt for a reason.
The power released by Blaze's destruction reunited Liu Kang's body and soul. Whole once more and possessing the power of a god, he confronted Raiden, who had been corrupted by his suicide. Liu Kang reluctantly defeated his mentor in an epic clash. With consent of the Elder Gods, he replaced Raiden as protector of Earthrealm.
Kung Lao. Kung Lao is pretty solid in this game. His sword is whatever, but I did like his whirlwind kick and his hat throw. I mean, he used to not be a super interesting character to me, but he's grown on me as I've been doing this series, and I like him a decent bit now.
The power released by his victory over Blaze opened a portal, and Kung Lao found himself in Earthrealm hundreds of years in the past. His ancestor allowed him to enter the Mortal Kombat tournament in his stead. Kung Lao defeated Goro and won the tournament, becoming a legend. As a result, Liu Kang never competed, and Kung Lao's rivalry with him never came to be.
Shang Tsung. What a big fucking surprise. He plays exactly the same as he did in Deadly Alliance. But hey, I do like him, he's fun to play, so, you know, there's that. Solid character, solid design.
Empowered by the godlike energy he received from Blaze, Shang Tsung found that he could alter the forms of others. Enraged that he was denied the prize, Shao Kahn charged the sorcerer. With a gesture of his hand, Shang Tsung transformed his former master into a centaur slave. Shang Tsung had become the ruler of Outworld at last.
Quan Chi. Quan Chi is a pretty normal character, I guess. Plays like the previous games, which I know that information just made you shit your pants, but it's the truth. Quan Chi has also kind of grown on me throughout the games, though. He's not too bad, but nothing crazy.
The defeat of Blaze enhanced Quan Chi's already powerful sorcery beyond his imaginings. The surge of energy was so great that it shattered his medallion. In his arrogance, Quan Chi ascended from Edenia to assault the heavens. There he confronted me, with the Elder Gods at my side. The quest had been an elaborate trap designed to pinpoint the true source of disruption in the realms. As punishment, Quan Chi was transformed into a Kamidogu, the very medallion he had carried with him for so many years. The Elder Gods cast the magical item back in time, at the exact point where Shinnok had first discovered it.
Shinnok. He was an Elder God, banished to the Netherrealm when he tried to overthrow the Elder Gods. He escaped and still tries to overthrow them. I mean, his design looks like a cheap Halloween costume. He just looks like a total fucking dork. But honestly, I do like his moves. His special moves with the hand coming and grabbing your enemy is pretty cool. I like the fact that he's at least unique in this game.
Shinnok had anticipated the elimination of all the combatants present at the final battle. He sent his doppelganger to aid Dagon in defeating Blaze. But with Dagon's unexplained disappearance, the false Shinnok defeated the Fire Spawn. The power of Blaze breathed life into him, making him as powerful as the real fallen Elder God. Shinnok must now face himself if he is to rule supreme.
Raiden. He feels like Raiden, Thunder God, has a lot of thunder moves, plays pretty okay, has the same moves as he's had in the past 2 games. Nothing too special about him this time around. Okay, enough.
The Thunder God, Raiden, overpowered Blaze and absorbed the energy intended to transform the sons of Argus. His strength enhanced beyond that of other gods, Raiden became a deity of unimaginable power. Releasing his fury upon the realms, he destroyed them all. None would threaten Earthrealm again.
Dagon. Dagon isn't an awful character, but his moves really aren't unique enough to make him stand apart. His design is simply evil Taven. He's cool and all, but like I said, he doesn't have anything to make him stand out.
Wounded, Dagon followed Taven to the pyramid. As Taven battled Blaze, Dagon stabbed the fire elemental from behind with a sword I had left him. Thus, through treachery, did Dagon complete the quest. But before he could savor his victory, the pyramid shook, and a recess opened, revealing the parents he had murdered, Delia and myself. We were in fact still alive, our deaths feigned in an elaborate test created to reveal the true nature of our sons. It is clear that Taven possesses the virtue required to defend Adenia. He will take my place as defender. Dagon, however, will be punished severely for the suffering he has caused.
Sonya. Wow, look, she has the same design as Deadly Alliance. Oh, and she has the same moves? Well, I'll be. They really outdid themselves. I'll give it to her though, she is pretty fun in this game. Her Kali sticks are simple and effective, her fighting style is snappy and satisfying, and her special moves are uninspired, but at least they're fun and good.
As reward for her victory, Blaze offered Sonya any power she desired. Glowing with energy, she turned and faced Kano, who had just reached the top of the pyramid. Her gaze burned into Kano. With a final scream of agony, Sonya's nemesis exploded in a cloud of ash. A mere glance, and her wish had been granted. Kano lived no more. With this new power, she incinerated the remaining members of the Black Dragon and Red Dragon clans, clearing the way for a new era of peace.
Kitana. Despite also being a reused asset, she plays pretty good in this game. Her design is boring as fuck, but her moves are cool. Her iconic steel fans are always a staple, and they get bonus points for including my name, so that's cool. She has some classic moves and some more modern ones as well.
Absorbing the power of Blaze, Kitana attained a psychic connection with the Elder Gods and became their champion. To preserve the integrity of the realms, she formed an all-female fighting force whose members included Sindel, Jade, Sonya, and Li Mei. Together, they laid waste to the forces of darkness and trapped them in the Netherrealm forever.
Melina. She's actually pretty fun too. Her weapon is cool, her design is decent, and a lot of her moves are pretty fun. Overall, good character. Nothing else to say.
For an instant, the power of Blaze united Melina and Kitana. When the energy dissipated, Melina had become beautiful, but Kitana was horrified to find her mouth filled with elongated, razor-sharp teeth. The change in her appearance allowed Melina to pose as Kitana and finally take her rightful place on the throne of Adenia. She imprisoned Kitana, who went mad in the palace dungeon.
Jade. Jade is also pretty good in this game. I like her staff a lot and her special moves are fun and kinda cool looking. I'm actually surprised with how much fun I had as her, but I think her staff might be a little unbalanced.
Defeated, Blaze transferred godlike power to Jade and instructed her to make true that which she most desired. As if controlled by some divine force, she let out a tremendous shriek that split open the pyramid. As she inhaled, the forces of darkness were sucked inside the ancient structure. It then resealed itself, trapping them there for eternity. Jade was celebrated as a hero, and the pyramid stood as a reminder to those who would threaten Adenia.
Ashra. Well shit, I like Ashra too. Her Chris weapon is a lot of fun to use, like honestly, just really great. Her design is whatever to me though. I will say she does stand out a bit. I'd say she's grown on me since Deception for sure.
The power of Blaze purified Ashra completely. She was transformed into a being of divine light. Her radiance soothed even the darkest of souls. With new purpose, she traversed the realms in search of evil, pacifying the wicked. Her mission came full circle when at last she purified the sorcerer who would have her slain, Quan Chi.
Li Mei. She wanted to free her enslaved people, Shujinko trained her, and now she battles for all of the enslaved people. Her gameplay isn't that bad, but man, they should just rename her to Li Mid. She is just such a filler character to me. I really just don't give a shit about her, like honestly, I just don't. Plays fine though, alright.
Filled with the energy of Blaze, Li Mei had but one purpose for her newfound power. In retribution for slaying her people, she banished the souls of Quan Chi and Shang Tsung to an obelisk. Trapped inside the relic, they must fend off wave after wave of aggressors for eternity. Justice has finally been done.
Tanya. Tanya's actually pretty good. None of her moves are super unique or interesting, neither is her weapon, but her gameplay's alright. Yet another Ryu skin and character. Nothing new.
The fire of Blaze transformed Tanya into a being known as a dragon caller. With a mere thought, she was able to summon dragon spirits from the ether into corporeal form. With an army of dragons at her command, she conquered the universe realm by realm. Soon Shao Kahn himself would call her Master.
Frost, a student of Sub-Zero, she's good at having ice powers, but she lets it get to her head. Frost isn't horrible, but I don't think I'll ever be able to get over the fact that she just took Sub-Zero's moves and plays largely the same as Sub-Zero. Plus, she's another reused character, so it's a reused character on top of a clone. Don't like her much.
Her strength increased. Frost once again took the Dragon Medallion from Sub-Zero and enhanced her freezing power far beyond her former mentors. Traveling to Outworld, she located the tomb of her ancestors, the Cryomancers, and planted their souls in the bodies of the current Lin Kuei. Her army of Cryomancers conquered the realms, leaving each of them a frozen wasteland.
Sindel. Sindel honestly kinda sucks in this game. Not a big fan. Nothing too special about her moves. I mean, I just don't get why they didn't do some kind of move with her hair, but whatever, I guess.
With the power of a god coursing through her, Sindel chose to undo the murder of her husband, Jared, at the hands of Shao Kahn. Reaching into the heavens, she pulled his soul back to Edenia and made him flesh once more. The reunited Jared, Sindel, and Katana formed the Triad of the Just to protect the realms from tyrants like Shao Kahn.
Natara. She's a vampire, wants to keep her home independent, it was fused with Outworld, now she's trying to maintain its stability. I mean, her design is unchanged as usual, and so are her moves, but she didn't even get a new move or anything tweaked, and honestly, her moves are lame as fuck. She has an evade, 2 blood split attacks, like are you kidding me? They could have done so much more with her moveset, yet they didn't, and that's just shitty.
The gift of godlike power transformed Natara into a blood god. Horrified, the combatants fled from the pyramid, but none were spared her wrath. Beginning with Shao Kahn, she mutated each of them into her vampire slaves. With the most powerful warriors in the universe at her command, Natara and her unstoppable army easily conquered the realms.
Kira. Kira is a stupid-ass character. One of her special moves is literally just Kano Ball, and her other 2 are moves that Sonya has had forever. I mean, what the hell is up with that? Come on.
Kira defeated Blaze and attained divine power. But in the battle, Cobra had been slain. Kira channeled her newfound energy into Cobra's body, slowly returning him to life. As Cobra regained consciousness, he reveled in the surge of godlike power and prevented Kira from severing their bond. Cobra devoured her life force and stole the prize, becoming immortal. He felt no shame in his betrayal. Kira was weak. She should have left him dead. That is the Black Dragon way.
Serena. She was working for Quan Chi, but then joined Sub-Zero and was banished to the Netherrealm, got freed, and is still best buds with Sub-Zero. Honestly, I didn't really have any high expectations for Serena, but she's actually pretty fun. Her moves feel unique enough, her design isn't anything crazy, but you know, that's fine. All that matters is she is original and fun to play.
Blaze had dissipated, but the power he had released flowed into Serena. She lay unconscious atop the pyramid until Sub-Zero revived her. Examining her hands, she found that she had gained the ability to freeze. Serena confronted her old master, Quan Chi, and froze him solid. She and Sub-Zero hid the sorcerer in the Lin Kuei Temple, where he will remain forever suspended in a block of ice.
Shiva, female Shokan who used to protect Sindel. She's just as powerful as Goro and Kintaro. This is Shiva's only appearance in the 3D era, and you know what? She's pretty fun. Her moves are basically like Goro, but that's alright. She's honestly fucking broken as hell. Super powerful.
At the moment of victory over Blaze, Shiva was blinded by a flash of energy. When she regained her sight, she found herself standing before the Elder Gods. They were clearly alarmed that neither Taven nor Dagon had completed the quest. Their desire to prevent further turmoil prompted them to transform Shiva into a goddess of destruction. One by one, she laid waste to the realms using a powerful Kamidogu. When the realms reformed, nothing was as it had been.
Baraka. God, I love playing as Baraka, my husband. Just look at this sexy man. I want him to spread...
With the power of Blaze within him, Baraka would never again serve another. Summoning Shao Kahn and Onaga before him atop the pyramid, he gave them a choice. Submit to Lord Baraka or die. They responded by attacking the Tarkatan. In a flash, Baraka's blades grew to twice their normal length and pierced his former masters through their hearts. Flinging their bodies down the side of the pyramid, Baraka turned his attention to a more important matter. Who would be his queen? He gave Melina a choice. She chose wisely.
Motaro. He was the leader of Shao Kahn's extermination squads and has killed many combatants trying to kill Shao Kahn, and he will continue to do that. Motaro was just a big boss guy. However, he was butchered. Man, like, what? He's just a normal guy with horse legs with no weapon and only a couple of special moves. Lame.
Flames lashed at Motaro's body as Blaze released his energy. The searing pain consumed Motaro as he staggered about the top of the pyramid. When at last the fire dissipated, Motaro felt the familiar sensation of walking on 4 legs. He had undone the curse that had transformed his centaur race into minotaurs. With renewed purpose, Motaro vowed that the Shokan would pay dearly for their treachery.
Havik. Havik hates order and wants to bring chaos to everything. Yeah, I mean, he's the same as before, but I do like Havik. He's pretty nasty, and I think that's awesome. His moves are fun and satisfying, and his design is badass.
Infused with the power of Blaze, the cleric of chaos, Havik, became chaos incarnate. His aura corrupted the stability of the realms, causing them to rip, tear, and reshape in grotesque ways. Soon, nothing remained that resembled the former universe. Havik's dream had been realized. Ultimate chaos had been achieved.
Draman. He's an Oni who's good buddies with Moloch. He torments people in the Netherrealm. Draman is fucking nasty, but that's awesome. He's a gross guy, but it's cool. I don't like how it's just the same character as he has been before. I love him, but man, I just can't stand all the reused content in this game.
The energy of Blaze unlocked the life force residing within Draman's mask. Unable to remove it, Draman became possessed by it and grew to 3 times his original size. The power of the mask also fueled the rage within him. Unable to contain his fury, Draman turned on his former ally, Moloch, in an epic battle of demons. Moloch was defeated, But Dramon's bloodlust has only just begun.
Moloch. He's just a big, beefy Oni brute who loves to cause pain to people. I like playing as Moloch because he's very, very overpowered, although it does kind of suck that half of his moves are just taunts. His design is awesome and scary, which fits his power. Cool character.
The Oni destroyer Moloch absorbed the gift of godlike power from Blaze and was transformed into a destroyer of worlds. In a gesture symbolic of his new power, he slammed his fist against the pyramid, completely shattering the structure. Moloch then laid waste to Edenia, transforming it into a barren wasteland not unlike the Netherrealm. Because he destroyed the Edenian portals, however, Moloch was trapped there, a victim of his own destructive rage.
Meat. You know, Meat gets a lot of shit, and I honestly think that it's unwarranted. I think he's pretty cool. Yeah, his design is simple, but I don't see a problem with that. His cleaver weapon is pretty fun and cool. His head roll special move is hilarious. He pulls on his eyeball for a taunt. I mean, come on, like what is not to love? I want more wacky characters in Mortal Kombat. Honestly, I don't think the game should take itself too seriously, and characters like this are really cool in my opinion. I mean, look at him on the roster. He just kind of fits in there and doesn't blend.
Meat was an experiment who escaped Shang Tsung's flesh pits before he could be completely formed. As the other combatants fought, Meat rushed unseen to the top of the pyramid and defeated Blaze. Godlike energy enveloped him, giving him the power to shapeshift. With the ability to become anyone, Meat lost his sense of identity and disappeared into obscurity.
Shao Kahn. Fuck man, Shao Kahn is actually really fun in this game. He actually has a proper moveset and weapon, which isn't how boss characters usually are in these games, so I like it. He's just really scary and huge and badass.
Blaze was no match for Shao Kahn the Conqueror. His strength increased tenfold. The forces of light could not fend off his final invasion as he merged each realm with Outworld. But his ultimate triumph was soon to be his downfall. With nothing left to conquer, Shao Kahn was driven to madness.
Goro. Goro is the same story as Shao Kahn, plays like a character that actually has depth and feels like he fits in the roster. This poses a question though. Why didn't Moloch or Motaro get the same treatment? I mean, they did it for Goro and Shao Kahn, so why not? It could have made them much better, but whatever. Goro is pretty fun and unique, honestly.
Having defeated Blaze, Goro had attained the power of a god. But to the forces of darkness, this power was not meant for a mere Shokan to wield. Shang Tsung, Quan Chi, Shao Kahn, and Onaga all had anticipated victory, only to have it stolen from them. The four surrounded Goro in a vain attempt to wrest the power from him. Goro laughed, raised his arms, and let forth an ancient Shokan battle cry. From out of nowhere, an army of Shokan warriors stormed the pyramid and slaughtered the four attackers. The Shokan race will rule Outworld forever.
Kintaro. Kintaro is a Shokan who has served Shao Kahn for many years. Wow, it's actually refreshing to see a boss character get some depth. It's nothing special though. Goro, Shiva, and Kintaro all kinda samey with similar movesets. I will say though, my favorite is Kintaro off of design alone.
Upon defeating Blaze, a thunderous voice offered Kintaro 4 magic swords. Each would be infused with the power of any warrior of his choosing. Kintaro resolved to give the weapons the powers of fire, ice, chaos, and order. As if wielded by invisible hands, each blade found its victim and slew him. The vanquished souls were transferred to the weapons, and there they will reside. With the powers of Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Havoc, and Hotaru at his command, none will challenge Kintaro and live.
Onaga. Outworld used to be controlled by him, and now he's trying to regain control of it. Onaga didn't get the treatment. Come on man, he's just super OP. His design is really cool, but his moves are dumb as hell, and he's just way too powerful. Like, I don't care about him, I'm sorry, but I don't, and I used to love him when I was a kid. But now I'm taking my rose-tinted glasses off, and man, he's just such a nothing character.
The forces of darkness defeated Blaze, and the Dragon King seized the prize for himself, attaining ultimate power. He immediately focused his wrath upon the one being he despised most, Shao Kahn. Long ago, Shao Kahn had stolen Outworld from him. Now Onaga would repay that treachery. Shao Kahn was beaten to the point of death, but Onaga would not see him die so quickly. He ordered Quan Chi and Shang Tsung to deal with the former emperor. While Onaga reclaimed his throne, Shao Kahn remained a captive in his own dungeon, tortured by those who had once pledged to him their allegiance.
Blaze. He's watched over the realms for a long time, and now he has to wake up Taven and Dagon to stop Armageddon. Blaze is fucking huge, and also didn't get the same treatment as the other bosses. Like, man, he's the main villain of this game, and he didn't get a good moveset? I mean, you've got to be fucking kidding me right now. That's just so dumb. Why not?
During his ages-long quest to monitor the realms, Blaze had been enslaved by Onaga's holy men and forced to guard the great dragon egg. The spell used to control him corrupted his original design. When his final objective atop the pyramid came to pass, he was unstoppable and defeated all who challenged him. As foreseen by the sorceress Delia, Armageddon began in the Edenian crater and spread throughout the realms, shattering reality until there was nothing.
I'm not even going to waste any more of your time. Mortal Kombat Armageddon is a game that has far too much reused content that is just so painfully mid. No, the game isn't bad by any means. If this is the only one that you played of the original 3D trilogy, then that's great. Then you're really just getting a best of compilation. But for someone like me who's actually playing through these games one by one, it's just a reused asset machine. Like, it's just nothing to me. And it can get really boring. Most of the characters are just straight up ported from previous games, as are a lot of the maps, and the new characters just feel like clones. Really, many of the characters in general feel way too similar to justify such a large roster. Motor combat doesn't suck exactly, but it gets old very quick. Honestly, the best part of the game is Conquest mode. The crypt also isn't as cool as previous games. Anyways, I love this game as a kid, so it hurts to say it, but this game gets a 5 out of 10. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video in any capacity, consider subscribing. I'm going to do more Mortal Kombat videos. I'm going to do probably a Tony Hawk series. I want to revisit Assassin's Creed. I want to do a Grand Theft Auto series. I mean, just for a while here, I want to just make content and have fun doing it. So I really hope you enjoyed. And have a good day.